Hi everyone. Before this video starts, I wanted to say that this can be a tricky and frustrating job. To make it easier, make sure that the area you're working in is clean and make sure you're in a warm environment because it's going to take some time sometimes to get this to work properly and you want to be not cold with cold hands. And use some carb cleaner to make sure that everything is clean and lubricated because carb cleaner also has lubrication in it as well as a cleaning agent. If in doubt, and you really can't get the jet to center correctly, go right back to the beginning. Take off the dashpot, put the needle down, and then put the jet onto it, and then put everything back together, and then tighten everything down, and hopefully it should seat. Take your time. And for this job, you will need a 7/16 Whitworth spanner to undo the locking nut, a 5/8 AF spanner or 2132 AF spanner for the adjusting nut, and you will also need a needle nose pliers for the split pins on the linkage. Onto the video. Hi everyone and welcome back to Blind Man Morris, and I said that I would do a video on centering the jet on an SU carburettor. There are other videos online, but I thought I would do one specifically for Morris miners. So this is an H1 carburettor. The instructions for how you do it are the same for an H1 or an H2. They're very similar to the instructions for an HS2, but there is a very slight difference because of course the jet arrangement on HS2 is different. So what you're trying to achieve is to make sure that the piston with the needle on the bottom can raise up and down nicely and smoothly in relation to the jet. So the jet is here, this is the jet assembly here, and then you've got the piston inside there with the needle at the bottom, and I can lift that and you should be able to see the needle inside there. And what you want is this soft thunk. It should slide easily no matter where the jet is positioned, up or down. But what can happen is that in the process of dismantling the jet head and putting it all back together, you can get it so that it's slightly offset and therefore it doesn't center correctly. You can get tools to do this, but I think the majority of us, if you've only got one carburetor that you're dealing with, are unlikely to purchase a tool to do it. So the instructions differ on the H1, H2 to the HS2. So the instructions are that you remove the spring. So what I've done is you undo the adjusting nut, you take off the spring, and then you can do the adjusting nut up. And you first of all do the locking nut up, and then you do the adjusting nut up fully. And that means that the jet is held in its highest position possible, so that it's up against the bridge. And so that when you drop the needle down, it will be in its lowest position, and the two are absolutely in their full extent inside each other. So if that wasn't the case, and you found that when you were lifting the piston up and dropping it, it wasn't clean and not making a nice clean click there, what you can do is you can undo the locking nut a couple of turns so that you've got movement in the jet, and that enables you to have a bit of movement in the jet there. And by doing that, you're then able to make sure that you've got full movement and nice clean click all the way down with the needle. Once you're happy that it's in position, you can then do up the locking nut like that. And then what you can then do is take off the adjusting nut fully, remove the jet there. You can put the spring back on and then put it all back in position. There we go. Before I go on to the HS2, just to show you the carburettor now assembled, and you can see that I've put the adjusting nut and the spring back on, and that I have set the mixture to its initial setting, which is that you would screw the adjusting nut fully up and then you would turn it 12 flats down. That's 2 full turns. And that then enables you to have the initial setting of the mixture before you then put it on the car and set up the carb. So onto the HS2. So this is an HS2. The difference in this particular task is that it's got this flexible tube which goes to the bottom of the jet here. So the instructions are slightly different in that you would have to remove the linkage and take out the jet by undoing the adjusting nut. And you would take off the adjusting nut fully, whereas on the H1, H2 we didn't. You would take off the spring. So you remove the adjusting nut and the spring. And then you put the jet up to the locking nut at the top here. And at the same time, you take off the dashpot at the top and you hold the piston down so that the piston is fully down, the jet is fully up, and then the two together, you make sure that there's a full drop. See, this one's too tight, but there you go. It's not fully dropping, that one, you can see that. So that you then got that nice clean click when the piston drops because the needle is fully centered within the jet. So just to say, remove the adjusting nut and the spring if you're centering the jet on an HS2, whereas on an H1, H2, you remove the adjusting nut and spring, but you put the adjusting nut back on. And then that enables you to screw the jet fully up to its full extent. And there you go.